Welcome to the Papa Rockstars podcast with Anya Bohm, where we talk about all things paparazzi, team training, suggestions, interviews with elite leaders, and more, all to help you grow and explode your paparazzi accessories business to rockstar success.
Hello and welcome to the Papa Rockstars podcast. My name is Anya Bohm and you are listening to the Papa Rockstars podcast. Today we're going to be talking about getting back to basics. Did your business start out with a bang and now it's starting to fizzle? Or maybe you hit your stride a month or two ago and now things are less than great? Let's talk about what you can do to get back to awesome. Before we get into that, don't forget to head on over to paparockstars.com/back-to-basics, and then there's a dash where those spaces should be. So back-to-basics, and there you're going to find the recording for today so you can share it with your friends and your team members. You're going to find the show image that we're going to talk about and the show transcripts/notes, whatever you feel like calling them. But everything's all typed out and ready for you to highlight and mark and remember so that you can get the most out of this that is possible. So again, that website is paparockstars.com/back-to-basics. The call image that I was just talking about is a quote today. It is identify the essentials, eliminate the rest. And it is just perfect. I loved that one. So I made it into a nice little image. Now that you can share in your team pages, you can share on Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, wherever you want to share it. It is there and it is ready for you. Okay. Now let's jump into today's training. Athletes are a great example of how the basics can help you be successful. Take football, for example. They drill, they rehearse, they practice for hours and hours and hours every day. Do the drills change? Not by much. One day they might work on endurance, and then the next day is footwork. The next day might be focusing on passing, and the next day on tackling. But day after day, month after month, they practice. Maybe football isn't your thing, so let's try basketball. I'm a little more familiar with that. After athletes get to college level of play, do the coaches say oh, well, by now your dribbling and your shooting skills, they're about as good as they're going to get. So let's just cancel practice. See you at the game. No, not at all. They spend hours and hours and hours on ball handling and shooting. They practice and practice and practice so that when the pressure is on, they can perform. So now how does this apply to your business? You're probably snooze, sports analogies. Well, what are the basics of your paparazzi business? If paparazzi were a sport like basketball or football, what would our coaches be drilling us on every single day? Here's the ones I thought of. Number 1, excitement. When I think basics, I think back to the beginning of my paparazzi journey. The excitement I had back then was so contagious. I was excited to get up and to work my business every single day. So what are some ways you can bring that kind of excitement back into your business? Order new jewelry. That has an exclamation point after it. It should have 6. Order new jewelry. There is no better way, in my opinion, to get excited than to order a bunch of really cute, brand new pieces of jewelry. And then once you hit that send button on your order, download those pictures and start sharing them with your friends and with your customers. The second best way that I know of to get excited again and to start selling that jewelry. Whether it's the new jewelry or jewelry that you've had in, start selling it. It's totally a continuation of my last point, but it is so true. Once you've ordered jewelry and you've got it coming in the mail to you, start selling it. Get it sold before it even arrives on your doorstep. That is a great way to get that excitement growing. When you don't even have any pieces left in that order you just placed to sell, then you have to put in another order. It's great. So share them. Get your customers excited about your new jewelry coming too. Who knows? You might sell the whole thing before it even comes. Okay? That's going to happen though if you're sharing, letting people know that it's coming. Talk to a friend or an upline and let them know you're struggling. Ask them what they think you should do to give your business a jump start. I always feel way better after chatting with a friend and coming up with a game plan. So lean on the strength of your leaders and your paparazzi sisters to help you when you need it. They're not mind readers. We're not mind readers. You have to reach out when you need that help. Listen to some of the elite leader interviews. Each leader shares a tip on helping consultants who are stuck in their paparazzi business, and they know what they're talking about. I know this is kind of a self-plug right here, but that is why these are there. And as a bonus, you might find a business-changing tip as you listen and get inspired. And last, get moving. There is something about physically getting up and getting moving that gets you so pumped up and energized. If you are feeling like you're in a slump, do some jumping jacks. Go for a walk or a jog or do some yoga. Change positions and get that blood flowing. It is a surefire way to get that negative energy heading towards the door. Next, think back. Sometimes it takes a little bit of reflection to see where you might be faltering. So think back to that time when you were the most successful, when you felt you had your paparazzi mojo going on, when you were having the most sales or you were having the most fun. What were you doing? Was there just less pressure? Were you doing more parties, more events? Were you doing a monthly or weekly team newsletter or maybe an opportunity night? Were you holding a weekly or bi-weekly team meeting or maybe like a booking blitz day? Any of these things could have massive impact on your business. But if there was something that you were doing when you were having amazing success and then you kind of stopped doing it, maybe try starting that up again. It might be the key to getting your business back on track. Make something new. So maybe you haven't changed what you're doing, but things kind of seem to be tapering off anyways. Shake things up a bit and see if it helps. For example, if you're always just posting jewelry in your VIP group, maybe post a question or a game. If your Facebook parties are lacking in sales, maybe change up the paparazzi images and graphics that you're using. There's a link in the show notes on the page to all of those show images and graphics that we have for that. So don't forget to head on over and grab them. There's 600 plus images to choose from. So a lot right there for you. But use some new images and graphics and see if that helps spice things up a bit. Sometimes it isn't as much a matter of being consistent. It's just that things aren't new anymore. They aren't as exciting. So try to bring some of that excitement back in by shaking things up a little bit. For me, something that has been working is creating jewelry sets. Now, fashion fix sets are great, but I'm sold out of those. So what I've done is I'll say okay, turquoise, and I'll choose a turquoise necklace, and then I'll choose a ring and a bracelet and a pair of earrings, sometimes just 3 items, it doesn't matter, but I'll post those sets into my group, and I'll say $15 for the set or $5 a piece. If there's 4 pieces to the set, it's $20. But the idea is you're showing the same old jewelry in a new way, shaking things up a little bit, making things new, making it a little bit different for people to see it. Some people like matchy-matchy. So if they see bracelet, necklace, earrings, even if they're not an upgraded earrings kind of person, they're going to be like, oh, sold on the bracelet and the necklace, and now you've just sold 2 more pieces. So shake it up a little bit. The next item, find a newbie. Sometimes one of the best ways you can get back to basics is to help a new consultant get started in her own business. As she is getting her business off the ground, it can help you get energized and excited and help remind you of the things you were doing when your business first started. So follow up with anyone you've talked to about joining paparazzi and see if they're ready to jump in with you. If the time is right, it could be perfect. Now, be careful when you're doing this. You're following up with those people. You need to have that excitement that we talked about in number 1. You don't want to follow up and be like, you don't want to join my team, do you? You have to be excited like, hey, paparazzi is really growing right now. Things are so exciting. Are you ready to take that leap? Okay, so back to that excitement. The next one, work it daily. When things are good, It's easy to want to spend time on your business. When you aren't seeing the results that you want, it's super easy to take a step back and spend less time working on your business. It's uncomfortable. For me, it took some serious reflection. Why did I not want to keep going? What was the most uncomfortable for me? In my mind, I was having a hard time with the lack of results or responses to my posts. And to me, it was showing up as like a lack of popularity. When people weren't watching my live videos or commenting on them, to me, I took it as a direct reflection on me. Once I realized this, everything changed for me. Like it was just an instantaneous shift. In reality, maybe I just chose a night that wasn't working for people. Maybe they were just busy. Or maybe it was a time of night that wasn't working for people. Maybe it was soccer, like a soccer tournament or something like that. There are 100 reasons why they might not have been on to jump on right away. Now, when I have an off night, I can really easily take a step back and regroup and then start pushing forward again. If you got to eat some chocolate, do what you got to do. But remember that you take that step back and then you push on forward. How much time are you spending on your business every day? And what are you spending your time on? Here's my suggested breakdown for how you should be working on your business. Booking. You should be spending a third of your time on booking events and parties or following up with those like hostess coaching. Sales. Spend a third of your time on sales, your personal sales. And then recruiting and team support, the final third of your time should be spent on that, with a minimum of 60 minutes a day being spent on that. If you're sticking to the 60 minutes, then that's 20 minutes in each category. So what you do is you set the timer and you choose which one and you get to work. Don't bounce between the three. Say, okay, right now I'm doing 20 minutes of bookings or hostess coaching. Go, 20 minutes. When that timer rings, you're done. Do not let yourself get sidetracked. Don't jump over into sales when you should be doing bookings. Stick to that. Choose your category to work in and push hard. Do as many things as you can during your allotted time. And then when the timer goes off, move to the next category. Now, you can choose to work this all in at once, like all 60 minutes together, or in chunks throughout the day. But the important thing is that you're working each and every area each and every day. Now, you may have to up the time. If your team is bigger, you might need to spend 90 minutes a day or 120 minutes a day. Or maybe you are rocking your business so hard you have 4 hours a day to spend in these areas. That is just fine, but you need to be working every single one of those areas every single day to be the most successful. The bottom line is when you get back to what worked for you, when you were most successful and or focus on the fundamentals of business, the fundamentals, that is where you will meet with success. Okay, that is it for the training portion of the call today. The challenge, how much time do you spend on your business every single day? If you don't have time already set aside, decide how much time and when you're going to work your business every day. This is going to be a game changer for your business. Okay, guys, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. Don't forget the website for today's show is paparockstars.com/back-2-basics. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.